This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows, but also bonus episodes each month. But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
Because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
What's today?
Oh, today's Tuesday.
What does that mean?
That means we're going to bring you the quickie. We're going to bring you some quick news, what's happening, what's going on around here. I mean, there's so much. This has been a lot of stuff happening this week. There's some things going on, and April's going to tell you about them, and I'm probably going to tell you about them too because I can't not.
Yes.
I can't not.
I'm going to start off with an update from our great mom, Jasmine Paez from Florida.
Oh.
You know, we've had a lot of great moms come out of Florida.
There's a lot of great.
Anthony.
Yeah.
She's the one that went to rentahitman.com.
Oh, yeah.
Remember her?
Yes.
Tried to have her son killed.
The legit website. That was super legit. Yeah.
I mean, can't blame her for going to that website.
Yeah.
Well, turns out there was a second arrest made in this case.
Did somebody else go to rentahitman.com?
Well, there was Gamel Souza. Hopefully it's not related to Pete.
Oh, no. Pete's cousin.
Was arrested for conspiracy to commit murder. After they arrested Jasmine, they found her text messages, and they saw messages from her boyfriend that was basically pushing her to try to take her child's life.
Oh.
Yes. One of the text messages read, "The kid is the problem. I hope you see that. All I ever wanted was to free you. I told you about the kid. You won't do anything. When you do it, I'll think about coming back." And then she went to rentahitman.com and tried to have her kid.
Like, did she know about rentahitman.com, about the other story, or she just Googled it?
What do you mean?
I mean, did she just, let me just rentahitman.com?
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if, like, she just typed in Hitman and it was the first thing to pop up.
Neither one of them have to be very smart. Like, for you, boyfriend, to write something like that in a text message and actually want her to do it, so she's not smart enough, and obviously she's not a good mom, so she's going to try to do it because she's desperate to keep you, okay? So then those text messages are going to come up.
This is going in my book.
In your book that you're writing?
Well, yeah. I mean, me and one of my coworkers, I mean, we're thinking about it because there's so many stupid people out there who are these dumb murderers.
So there's that. So now at least what the good thing is of course the people who own the website, remember, turned her in. So the kid is safe. She's in jail, and now he's in jail. So the kid's safe. They're in jail. They're both idiots.
You know, I don't
And
know
she's
why
alone.
these people have kids.
Nope. Second up is Alex Murdaugh. His defense is seeking a new trial based on claims of jury tampering.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're not surprised to see Alex back in the news. And of course, people are all over this. Brian Enton has been all over it. So they supposedly uncovered new evidence. So the county clerk, I think her name was Rebecca Hill, tampered with the jury
Miss
by
Becky.
allegedly advising them to not believe the Murdaugh testimony and any other evidence that was presented by the defense, and pressured them to hurry up and reach a quick guilty verdict. She also had improper private communication with some jurors outside of the courtroom. And since all this have come out, 2 jurors have hired lawyers. They also said that Hill, when they were deliberating, did not let the Smoky Smokersons take smoke breaks because she wanted them to hurry up, rush, and come to a conclusion. And now it's coming out that Hill actually is securing herself a book deal. Which is like, why wouldn't you make a book out for her?
No, she's already had the book is already out. That's what caused all of this. Her book came out on August 1st.
Okay.
Her,
so she secured
but she
in past tense.
Well, so she didn't get a deal because it was a self she wasn't like paid to do the book. She just knew she was blinded by the fact she wanted to be like, she's like, oh, I'm from the small town. Nothing big happens here. There's going to be so many people are coming from New York. People are coming from New York. So she met this guy and he didn't even know who she was. And then that was like her ghost. I don't know. They wrote it together and it had just come out on August 1st. Then the defense, I guess everybody got a hold of it. And then they were like, this is a little sus. And so then that's what led them to do all of this and to start talking to the jurors. They went and tried to talk to all the jurors, and they got a few of them who were talking to them.
Did she basically confess to all this in her book?
No. I mean, she says that she didn't do anything wrong, but there's clear passages in the book that she's making it seem like she was part of the jury, which she was, like, not part of the jury.
She's injecting herself. She's trying to be important.
Yes.
She's about to get in trouble. Well, all it takes is a little bit of reasonable doubts that there wasn't a fair trial.
Oh, I predict that there will be another trial because I do think that there's too much. There's just too much that because there's 2 jurors that have done sworn affidavits and another guy did a sworn affidavit. So it's like, that's under oath. So like, are these jurors lying? So then in my head, I'm like, well, were the jurors paid off
on this or not co-signing on this?
Like who signed off, who like did written affidavits and signed off on their story? Like
saying that she told them to
just telling them that they felt like they were led a certain way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Led to like vote a certain way, which, the verdict came back so fast.
By her, though.
Yes.
Because that's what you're supposed to do in the deliberation room is you're supposed to try to convince
stuff like
each
how
other.
they went to Moselle and they went to visit the property. And like she was saying, well, I could just tell by, just the look in our eyes. Like we all knew that that he was guilty. And we're like, what do you mean you're not part of the jury. Mm-hmm. And then she would talk to them and have like, well, which way are you leaning to some of the jurors? And then there was this whole thing about a Facebook post by somebody's ex-husband. And then that wasn't really the ex-husband and it was deleted and she found it. And it's just a whole big, huge mess.
She was way too invested. And that would probably be me. Like I would have been too close to it and way too involved in it. And probably get myself in trouble.
So most likely they'll get a new trial. She'll be obviously, she's going to have to testify, but there's going to be an evidentiary hearing and it'll have to be the jurors who are going to testify. She'll have testified. The judge will have to be a witness. I think the Attorney General is has to give a response within 10 days, which will be in a few days, to see what we do moving forward. And either way, Alec will be in jail forever because of the financial stuff. But he's wanting to be in a federal prison. So I don't know. There's got to be something that's like shady because he doesn't do anything that is not shady. And he also had just recently, before this whole deal with, he had there's a show that was just come out on Fox Nation, like a 3-part series where they're interviewing Buster. And then he was having phone calls with one of his attorneys, but the attorney was recording it so that he could get that recording to Fox Nation, but that's not allowed. And all of that happened like just a few days before this story came out. And then he like lost privileges to his iPad and tablet, and he was using somebody else's PIN number for their I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Like, he's acting a fool in jail. He runs the place apparently, but he wants to go to the federal prison because it's like, that's the nicer one. But like, go ahead, let's get a new trial. Let's do it again.
Well, everybody was so shocked that they came back so quick with the verdict. So now that this is coming out, they're like, everybody's just like, oh, well, this is why.
Because
now
they couldn't get a smoke break. Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell a smoky. Some people smoke every 30 minutes.
I know. I don't know why she interjected herself. And then she's talking about this book. She did an interview with the Fitz News, and she was talking about a lot of the things, and there's excerpts from the book that I was listening to people talk about, and it's just like, no, ma'am, you can't do that.
Well, to change to the next story, it's about time for me to have a picture taped to my steering wheel.
Oh.
Because we have an escaped convict.
Yep.
His name is Danilo Cavalcante.
You are Mexican.
Cavalcante.
I even know. I've been listening. Danilo Cavalcantes.
So, and that's the thing. I haven't listened to anything. I've only read it. So, he escaped a prison in Pennsylvania. It's been now 8 days. This is Chester County Prison. So, he escaped on August 31st by being a badass, by scaling, some say crab walking, up a wall to gain access to the roof. He pushed through a razor wire and jumped down, basically parkour. He was there awaiting a transfer after being convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend, fatally stabbing his ex-girlfriend. Just in May, somebody escaped the same exact way, in the same spot. But this guy was only escaped for 5 minutes. He was caught within 5 minutes because the tower guard saw him. But Cavalcante's tower guard was either his best friend or was taking a nap, because he either did not observe or he observed and did not report the escape, because the tower guard was allegedly there, but he didn't see anything.
I listened to one of the press conferences, and the press was having a day. They were
him.
No, yes, they were. They just were like.
Was he scrolling Facebook? Was he taking a nap, or are they partnered up? They didn't find out until an hour later when they were doing their inmate count. An hour later.
I mean, he did it very quickly because there's video of it.
Yes.
And we posted it so you can go look at it. But I don't. But yeah, it was like within seconds he just crawled up the wall. Like he was the wall, like it's like 5 feet. It was like maybe 5 feet from wall to wall. Feet on one wall, hands on the other wall. He's like face down and just like went up the ceiling. He was like Spidey.
Crazy.
And then he has burglarized a couple houses, and he got a lot of fruit.
Yes, so he was started by a state trooper on Sunday, but he hasn't been caught. There's been over 100 tips from just like houses and neighbors, possible break-ins. One guy actually watched Cavalcante walk out of his home. He heard him downstairs. He did some flickering of the lights. He said he was wearing a white shirt. had a bag. He took some peaches, some apples, and some green snap peas from his house. It reminds us of just, a year and a half ago when Gonzalo escaped.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. The police do believe he's still in the area and only about 3 miles within, the radius of the prison, because I guess there's a lot of wooded areas. So when he left this guy's house, he went back into the wooded area. And so that's where they keep losing him. They recorded his mom. He's from Brazil. So they recorded his mom speaking in Portuguese and played it over, I guess, the wooded area through a helicopter, trying to convince her son to surrender and go back. Because we know how this ends. It ends in suicide by cop, like Gonzalo did. You get killed, basically, unless you surrender peacefully. And then they have the town, that area, basically on shutdown. They don't want people to leave. They have canceled some school. They want you to stay in your house and keep your doors locked. And because they don't know how violent he will be.
And they say
remember that family that Gonzalo killed?
Yes. And he killed those
horrible
boys.
Yes.
They say they know his area that he's in. They have the perimeter. But, I mean, how do you really know?
How do you know?
He could be already in Mexico.
And why do you think, and
okay,
Pennsylvania or Canada maybe. And I was like, okay, but then he's Brazil, so why would he go to, I don't know.
Unless he had somebody help him.
So.
And now a word from our sponsors.
All right, if you love smoothies or if you love your protein in the morning, you need to get you a Blend Jets. You can do that if you go into blendjet.com. If you enter the code BHH12, you get a discount. And let me tell you, these things are portable. They are easy to use. They can fit in your cup holder. You can have it at home or you can have it in your office like I do. Right this morning, I had my blueberry banana one
How was
with
it?
some chia seed.
Wasn't chunky or anything?
It was very smooth. When I have it in my shaker, it is a little chunky. So this is a great alternative.
I love it.
It is battery powered, so all you have to do is plug it in every 2 weeks, and the battery never runs down.
Oh my gosh, I love battery powered things.
Go to BlendJets and order you a BlendJet and get a discount.
Thanks, April, for sharing.
Did you know you could be putting oil and chemicals in your coffee? I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned the bottle around to actually see what's inside. When I did, I found out many of my favorite creamers contain ingredients I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil, dipotassium phosphate, ew, and artificial flavors. Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton needed morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. He couldn't find anything in the market that met his ingredient standards, so made himself the ultimate plant-based creamer. Laird Superfood started and launched its first product, Original Superfood Creamer, in 2015. Laird Superfoods contain no artificial flavors, colors, or additives, and no sugars from highly refined corn syrup. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. All Laird products are also made of all-natural whole food ingredients, and they are crafted from the highest quality all-natural real food ingredients. Are you ready to feel more energized, focused, and supported? Go to lairdsuperfood.com and add nourishing plant-based foods to fuel you from sunrise to sunset. Use our promo code BOO at checkout to save 15% off your purchase today.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
Exclusive merch. You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows, but also bonus episodes each month. But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
Because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/BloodyHappyHour.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm your puzzle pal, and I'm going to tell you about my latest obsession, Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal, folks. They're high quality, handcrafted, and perfect for anyone who loves a good challenge, but doesn't want to dedicate their entire kitchen table to puzzles for a week. Trust me, I've been there. I might still be there. But I got one of these actually for Christmas. I loved it. I did it, and I was so proud of myself. And they have all these cool designs, and you need to go to wongopuzzles.com and use our discount, BHH. You get 10% off, and I really want to know if you'll order one of these puzzles, what'd you think about it? Because it's so fun, and I need to order like 5.
Cure hydration. If you are obsessed with your hydration like I am, this may be something good for you. This is something that is so easy. Forget about the Gatorade. That just dehydrates you even more. And if you don't like the taste of coconut water, try Cure Hydration. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. This is vegan. It's no added sugars. It's just a little packet you could put in your water. Or if you're really smart during happy hour, you could put it into your Tito's. It is just as effective as an IV drip. And if you do not like the taste of water, it's not as boring as water, not as sugary as the sports drink. And if you're an athlete, it'll give you the best performance. Or if you just get brain fog or headaches because you do not stay hydrated.
Brain frog?
Brain fog.
The
The solution is Cure Hydration. So go to that link, enter the code. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. Cure Hydration. Why do they just think he's 3 miles? It's been 8 days. He's trying to stay hidden in the woods, I guess.
Yeah.
And because you'd have to have somebody pick you up. You'd have to have like a plan and a system in place. Somebody pick you up. And if you go into the community, I guess you can be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last story is...
Well, wait. First of all, if there are any tarot card readers out there, can you let us know where he is?
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. And there was a dog that was going and searching for him, but apparently it's so hot in Pennsylvania.
It's even hot way up there.
I mean, unless
probably
they
not our kind of hot.
probably can't handle our heat. But the dog suffered a heat-related illness, but the dog has been discharged from the vet.
Only you would find that story. My goodness. So where you at, Danilo? So to end with our last story, that I think it should be hashtagged Never Trust a Mormon.
Never, y'all. It gives me the Hart family vibes and obviously Lori Vallow vibes.
Yeah.
Remember the Hart family?
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought of. So you can help me out with this. I just got like bits and pieces. So there's some YouTubers were arrested this week on 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. Ruby Frankie and her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, after police found a malnourished child. This child jumped out the window, escaped, and went to like a neighboring house, asked for help. This child had opened wounds, duct tape on them, and looked malnourished. So these ladies create like advice videos, and they've had a blog, they've been YouTubing, but they've been accused of harsh parenting before. And all the videos have been taken down, but I was able to listen to some, I think, on Nancy Grace.
There's plenty
and
out
they're
there.
ridiculous. Some of the stuff is just ridiculous, and it's bragging about how harsh of parenting it is, but some of it is real cruel. And you can tell that she does despise 2 of her kids more than some of the other ones, because I think she has 8 kids total.
So
Frankie, right?
So it's Ruby Frankie, and she has had this family blog show or YouTube channel for a while. She got up to like 2.2 million followers at one point. And it's her and her husband, and then they have 5 kids. That was the 8 passengers. Was her and her husband and their other kids, and
6 children.
6 kids. So 6 plus, yeah, that would be good math. That's math. Yeah. And so that's where she was like filming everything. And so let's say the 6-year-old was in charge of like waking herself up, getting herself ready for school, packing her own lunch. One day she didn't pack her lunch. The school called her. She was like, oh, well, she didn't pack her lunch, so she doesn't get a lunch, and I hope you don't give her any food.
Yeah.
And the school was like, oh, and like, okay, that's odd. And I'm hoping they fed the child. And there's this one video where the little girl gets in trouble again, and there's a doll, and the mommy's like, the Ruby is like, if you do that again, I'm going to take this doll. You see your favorite doll? I'm going to cut this doll's head off. And the child is horrified. I mean, you could just see her face. And then the one little boy was like wrestling with the brother. And then he was like, oh, you got to do 10 push-ups. And she was just so mad about that. And then one of the kids got his lost bedroom privileges. So he was not allowed to sleep in his bedroom. He had to sleep on the bathroom floor for like 7 months. And this was like an older boy. Oh yeah, beanbag.
Yeah.
You know, and like weird stuff like that. But then she was getting a lot of, not just a lot of people who are commenting like, this is not good. Like, stop doing this. This is terrible. A lot of hate kind of. And then, so she shut down her YouTube channel, but that's when she met the Jody Hildebrandt. And that's whenever they started like living together. And so then because her and her husband get divorced, she goes and she starts living with this Jody chick. And that's where the Jody and her started their own little therapy channel or whatever. And that's where they have this connections. And that Jody lady has all these weird Mormonisms or I don't know, whatever, weird tactics. And then that's whenever the kid finally escaped from the house and had the duct tape, and they were like super malnourished. And I think they might have, I know they were going to school, but I think maybe at this point they were homeschooled.
Yeah, red flag. So they were Mormon and they homeschooled. Or they were Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints. So at first when I read it, it just said that the 6-year-old forgot her lunch, the school called her, and mom refused to bring the lunch up there. She said it was like a 45-minute drive. Well, I can understand that. But because the school will give them a tray, every child will get a tray, so the kid's not going to starve. But when I heard the video, she made it known that she did not want her kid to eat at all. Please do not give my kid food. I hope none of the other kids give her food. She should starve. Like, this is her punishment for a 6-year-old. Christmas. So the 2 youngest ones.
Yeah, Christmas.
She had a blog and was just saying how her 2 youngest, like they were little, are just too selfish and that they wouldn't repent. And that for Christmas, they decided that all they're going to get for Christmas are the love of their parents. And the other 4 kids were going to get presents and stocking stuff and everything, and that the 2 youngest kids were going to watch their siblings open up all their presents on Christmas. That's cruel. That's favoritism. That's you despise these 2 kids.
There was another one where they're not supposed to have their phones at the table for dinner, and meanwhile mom is over here recording on her phone at the table, and they take away the teenager's phone, and they look at the phone, and they look at his text messages. But instead of taking him aside and like reading them, he like reads the messages out loud in front of the siblings. And so they're like, that's just kind of cruel to do that, because then, you know, you have your siblings make it, that just like makes you feel bad. It just makes you feel bad, because I was like, is that bad? But I mean, I guess that just hurts your pride, I guess. I mean, yes, bullies is exactly.
Like you're
but
not
apparently neighbors and other people had been calling CPS for a couple of years reporting things. Mm-hmm. And even, I think it was even reported that the kids had been left alone in the house for like days at a time. They like blacked out the windows so nobody could see inside. And the kid who jumped out of the window, and that's why it reminded me of the Hart family, because they had a kid who jumped out the window to go to the neighbors to get food. He said he went to a neighbor's house because he knew that neighbor had given them cookies one time, and he knew that they would give him food. And that whenever they saw how like skinny he was, and like the duct tape wrapped around, and there was like apparently gauze that was found in the bathroom of the home, whether that was gauze like from injuries or gauze where I don't know. We don't really know too many more details. But they have both been arrested, and they are the two ladies. And apparently this Jody, who is this owner of this Connections, she's done this to a few families. Oh. Like she's kind of broken up a few families. So like she maybe came into this Ruby lady's life. She was married. They were getting divorced, and then this Jody comes in and is like, hey, let me infiltrate.
Like Nanny 911, but like the opposite of Nanny 911?
I don't know what Nanny 911 is, but I think from a couple of things I listened to and read, she just kind of breaks up families and provides therapy.
Mm-mm. Well, it's not the traditional, like, child abuse, like, horrible things that we've heard about, right? But it's pretty horrible.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because she would, that's what she would do a lot of the times. Was her main thing was withholding food. Yeah. That was the main thing. And then, but then putting it all, this is all only stuff we saw on video. And a couple of times she was like, oh, I haven't told our listeners about that. I haven't told our listeners about that. Like about him getting his bedroom taken away and stuff like that.
Oh. And one of her...
And she just annoys me. Her face annoys me.
One of her blogs said, or one of her videos said, my child's literally starving right now because I won't let her eat her breakfast until she finishes her chores or something, or takes out the trash or something. But she was literally starving, and that's not why she was withholding. She was just withholding food. She just gave a reason. 'Cause there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, you better make your bed before you come and eat breakfast.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's not really what it was.
No.
The kids just hadn't eaten.
I hate this lady.
Goodness. Okay, that's all I have. Danny Masterson.
Yep. That was what to say.
What
Danny
was his
Masterson.
name on That 70s Show? Was it Danny?
I don't know. I never watched it, but I do know that he was on That 70s Show, and I know that he was sentenced to 30 years in prison for rape. And, of course, they're going to appeal it and everything, but we shall see.
Okay. That's it. That's all we have.
That is all we have.
We will see y'all Thursday for the full episode. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Everybody has a story worth telling. I'm Corey Duncan. On Best Story Ever, I take guests that you know through their most unique and captivating stories. The best part? I hear the story for the first time when you do. Everyone has a story. What's yours? Find Best Story Ever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y esto es Zona del Crimen. podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything.
Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.